quest, I uncovered the lessons of tree-to-tree communication, of the relationships that create a forest society. The evidence was at first highly controversial, but the science is now known to be rigorous, peer-reviewed, and widely published. It is no fairy tale, no flight of fancy, no magical unicorn, and no fiction in a Hollywood movie. These discoveries are challenging many of the management practices that threaten the survival of our forests, especially as nature struggles to adapt to a warming world. My query started from a place of solemn concern for the future of our forests, but grew into an intense curiosity, one clue leading to another, about how the forest was more than just a collection of trees. In the search for the truth, the trees have shown me their perceptiveness and responsiveness, connections and conversations. What started as a legacy and then a place of childhood home, solace, and adventure in Western Canada has grown into a fuller understanding of the intelligence of the forest, and further, an exploration of how we can regain our respect for this wisdom and heal our relationship with nature. One of the first clues came while I was tapping into the messages that the trees were relaying back and forth through a cryptic underground fungal network. When I followed the clandestine path of the conversations, I learned that this network is pervasive through the entire forest floor, connecting all the trees in a constellation of tree hubs and fungal links. A crude map revealed stunningly that the biggest, oldest timbers are the sources of fungal connections to regenerating seedlings. Not only that, they connect to all neighbors, young and old, serving as the linchpins for a jungle of threads and synapses and nodes. I'll take you through the journey that revealed the most shocking aspect of this pattern, that it has similarities with our own human brains. In it, the old and young are perceiving, communicating, and responding to one another by emitting chemical signals. Chemicals identical to our own neurotransmitters. Signals created by ions cascading across fungal membranes. The older trees are able to discern which seedlings are their own kin. The old trees nurture the young ones and provide them food and water just as we do with our own children. It is enough to make one pause, take a deep breath, and contemplate the social nature of the forest and how this is critical for evolution. The fungal network appears to wire the trees for fitness. And more, these old trees are mothering their children. The mother trees. When mother trees, the majestic hubs at the center of forest communication, protection, and sentience, die, they pass their wisdom to their kin, generation after generation, sharing the knowledge of what helps and what harms, who is friend or foe, and how to adapt and survive in an ever-changing landscape. It's what all parents do. How is it possible for them to send warning signals, recognition messages, and safety dispatches as rapidly as telephone calls? How do they help one another through distress and sickness? Why do they have human-like behaviors, and why do they work like civil societies? After a lifetime as a forest detective, my perception of the woods has been turned upside down. With each new revelation, I am more deeply embedded in the forest. The scientific evidence is impossible to ignore. The forest is wired for wisdom, sentience, and healing. This is not a book about how we can save the trees. This is a book about how the trees might save us. Chapter 1. Ghosts in the Forest. I was alone in grisly country, freezing in the June snow. 20 years old and green, I was working a seasonal job for a logging company in the rugged Lillooet mountain range of Western Canada. The forest was shadowed and deathly quiet, and from where I stood, full of ghosts. One was floating straight toward me. I opened my mouth to scream, but no sound emerged. My heart lodged in my throat as I tried to summon my rationality, and then I laughed. The ghost was just heavy fog rolling through, its tendrils and